What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Monday night, which means I've got nothing but rants coming to you. NBR, the show where I find topics that I'm rather passionate about, and I bring them to you, and I pontificate upon them for a little bit of time. We got a very interesting show tonight. I am your humble host, Brooks Austin, or as my boy Matt Johnson called me on Twitter today, Jameis Not So Thinston. One of my favorites that we had come across the Twitter timeline today. So shout out, Matt. We'll start the show off with a good fat joke on your boy, Jameis Not So Thinston. Off the top, I got a great one for you. Kirby Smart has strategically structured his organization to handle coaching change. Follow me here. Shane Beamer, Mel Tucker, Jim Chaney, Sam Pittman, Scott Fountaine, Fountain, special teams coordinator, Charlton Warren, Dan Lanning. The list goes on, okay? Assistants, year after year, position coaches, year after year, are leaving this program, right? And they're being replaced by guys that are not only really, really talented and great football coaches of their own, but they're being replaced without missing much of a beat, right? Without skipping much of a beat. And when we're talking about some of these names, some of the best coaches in college football right now, that's a hard thing to do, to replace these guys on a consistent basis. So I think that shows you not only does Kirby Smart identify and hire really, really talented football coaches, right? Not only is he successful in that venture in terms of identifying and hiring great coaches, but what he's also done to make turnover really, really easy within his football program is he's done an exceptional job at categorizing and compartmentalizing his staff, okay? Dan Lanning was a tremendous coach and a tremendous recruiter, but he was never the sole reason, right? Like a defensive back, for example, committed to the University of Georgia, right? He might have had a lot to do with why outside linebackers were being recruited and committing to the University of Georgia. He was never the primary reason an inside linebacker committed to the University of Georgia, right? That was always Glenn Schumann. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is he's always done a really good job, that being Kirby Smart, of keeping things separated where they're supposed to be, right? Outside linebackers coaches handle outside linebacker coach stuff. Yes, Dan Lanning was the defensive coordinator, but there was a lot of heads in that building. Always will be, okay, under Kirby Smart. A lot of heads and a lot of brains and a lot of smart people that can do a lot of things defensively, including himself, right? If Kirby Smart needed to be a pseudo defensive coordinator tomorrow, I promise you he'd be probably the best in the country at it, if not one of the best in the country at it, right? So when you lose a guy like Dan Lanning, great defensive coordinator, that's awesome. You got Muschamp and Schumann hanging out, and you yourself are a defensive coordinator and defensive mind in and of yourself as well. But when a coach leaves, when Charlton Warren left last year, everything doesn't fall apart because Charlton Warren wasn't just responsible for recruiting one area of the country or wasn't dependent upon to do one thing or recruit one area or one position. He was just the defensive backs coach, right? They didn't lean on him or require him or ask him to do anything else, right? So when he leaves, you only lose the DB coach and you only have to replace the defensive backs coach. That's it. His ability to micromanage, right? Kirby Smart's ability to always have his hands in stuff. That's kind of what Georgia fans every once in a while get a little bit upset with. But to be 100% honest with you, it saves you in moments like this, in moments where your defensive coordinator might be aloof or distant or off doing whatever it is he's doing for Oregon right now, right? Taking press conferences and taking flights out to Eugene and flying back and forth and worried about National Signing Day for an Oregon class that hasn't been finished, right? Instead of worrying about everything else at Georgia, he's out there doing that. But guess what? Georgia's okay because they weren't relying on Dan Lanning to solve or finish or, deliver multiple recruits in this class. No, he was responsible for recruiting Darius Smith and C.J. Madden, and both of those are tied up right now. They're done. They're in-state guys. They love Georgia. So you're hurting, right? It's bad. It's your defensive coordinator leaving. It's not great, obviously. But it's manageable. It's things you can get over. Again, not only is he really, really good at staffing and selective decisions like this, right, in terms of who's going to be the replacement, he's really, really good at that. He's shown a track record of doing that. But the way he's set up his program in never relying too much on one guy or one position coach or one coordinator, the way he's structured his program and his ability to finish these jobs in terms of recruiting, right, in particular, his ability to be the finisher, his ability to have the final say on everything, his ability to micromanage an entire program saves you in moments like this. It really, really does, where you're coordinatorless going into a college football playoff. I know he's around. I know he's going to stick around and coach out the rest of the college football playoff. I can also tell you that if you look at the timeline we're going to talk about here in a second, he is awfully, tied up right now, if you will. So guys like Schumann and guys like Muschamp, they're going to be leaned upon heavily. They already are right now as Georgia kicks off their practice schedules leading up to Michigan. They took about a week off out there at the University of Georgia, gave guys some break time, some downtime to get their body healed up and nice, and healed and healthy and getting ready to get back to work for this Michigan football game to kick off the college football playoff. We got a loaded show for you guys as we normally do here on NBR. I told you, things are going to look a little bit different tonight. We're going to do some different things. Typically on NBR, I sit here, I gallivant, and I rant, and I rave, and I talk, and I talk, and I talk, and we go for about an hour. Tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to front load with a little bit of NBR, okay? Then I'm going to get my fat belt up. I'm going to walk over there. Ditko's going to slide into the producer and boss's chair, and we're going to handle things from that end over there on the board. So, yeah, a little bit different. You get a little bit NBR, and you get some film study tonight. I will tell you, the film study is going to be tight. It's going to be brief. It's going to be 15, 20 minutes. But then we're going to continue the show over on Patreon for the folks over there. So patreon.com/Brooks Austin. They will get the full show on demand over there tonight. So it's going to be a loaded show. It's going to be a great one. I'm glad you guys are here as always. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button if you could. That helps us out over here on the channel. That's how we climb up all of those boards over there. So hit that thumb up. We appreciate you for being here tonight. Excited. I love doing NBR. I love grinding tape. We're going to do both tonight. I hope you guys enjoy it and show me some of that enjoyment by hitting that thumbs up button. Appreciate you for being here. And again, if you want to head over to Patreon, patreon.com/Brooks Austin. We gave the full 2022 class projection this morning over there as well. So feel free to join us. We'd love to have you. Let's get into tonight's show. We're going to talk about this fit, Lanning to Oregon. I think it's a pretty good one on both ends. I'm going to tweak early National Signing Day just a little bit because there's some things that have irked me about what's been going on in college football, but it's not the coach's faults. It's the calendar's fault, and we can fix the calendar. We can move the college football calendar around. Tonight, we're going to do exactly that. And we obviously will close the show tonight with film study. We're going to watch basically the first half of Georgia's offense, I believe, here, and then we'll watch the second half over there on Patreon. Appreciate it. So let's get right into it. We'll talk about this Lanning fit. Here's why I think it's perfect for both parties, right? Let's give you the rundown on Dan Lanning for those of you who probably don't even know his background this well, right? Like most people remember Dan Lanning as the guy that replaced Mel Tucker to start the 2019 season, right? His first year as a defensive coordinator, as I lean back in the chair and get nice and comfy here. His first year as a defense coordinator in 2019, you probably don't know a whole lot about him prior to his arrival from Memphis to the University of Georgia. So let me kind of give you a brief rundown and backstory of where this guy comes from. It'll tell you a little bit about him, and it'll help deliver my point here in just a second about how I think these two parties and two, lovers are perfect for each other moving forward in Lanning and in Oregon. The University of Oregon, rather. So Dan Lanning's a Kansas City, Missouri native. That's where he's from, right? He grew up on farmland and flatland. This is a country boy, Midwesterner to his T, okay? This is not a guy that went to a big school. In fact, he played football at William Jewell College. And yes, I did have to Google it like you will tonight. I'll let you figure that one out in terms of where the hell William Jewell College is, what it is, D2, D1, D3, NAIA, I don't know. It'll be fun on your end to Google it after the show. But a really, really small school, played football up there from 04 to 07. So just 3 years of college football at a really, really small school. And again, no, I hadn't heard of it. Here's how he got into coaching, okay? He was coaching a little, small high school out there in Kansas City, Missouri. And up one day and just drove from Kansas City, Missouri to Pittsburgh, okay, the University of Pittsburgh, and walked in to the coach's office because he knew the staff or had met the staff that summer at a coaching clinic. That's it. He had hit it off with them, thought the coaching staff up there were some good guys, made a solid impression, drove all the way down there to Pittsburgh and said, "You're going to hire me." Refused to leave the office. They said, "All we got's a graduate assistant's job." He said, "That's fine. We'll take it, okay? We'll take it." That was in 2011. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, he walked into the offices at Pittsburgh and said, "Give me a job." Here we are a decade later, and he's got one of the best jobs in Power 5 football as a head coach at Oregon, okay? This is a guy that doesn't have one particular dream job, okay? He's a Midwesterner, got his start at Pittsburgh in 2011, bounced around as a graduate assistant to Alabama in 2015 before Memphis hired him as a full-time coach, okay? 5 years ago, this dude was a graduate assistant. He is a head coach at the University of Oregon right now. That's absurd. It's absolutely absurd, which makes you realize, of course, he took the job. But let's talk about it from Oregon's standpoint, right? Oregon is a program that despite all the facilities, despite all the resources, Phil Nike, okay, despite all of these things, for some reason can't seem to hold on to a coach, right? Willie Taggart left for Florida State, probably a poor decision on Willie Taggart's end, but hey, hindsight's 50-50, if you know what I mean. So Willie Taggart leaves for Florida State, his dream job. Mario Cristobal comes in there, recruits at a top 5, top 10 level for 3-4 straight years. He leaves for his dream job in Miami, okay? What is Dan Lanning's dream job? Dude's from Kansas City, Missouri. He already turned down the Kansas Jayhawk job, so home must not mean that much, right? I mean, yeah, I guess you could say maybe to live in Columbia and coach at Mizzou, maybe that's a dream job. But is that really a dream job? You know what I mean? Like, nobody grows up saying, one day I'm gonna leave Oregon to go coach at Mizzou, right? You don't leave Oregon for Mizzou. So what is the dream job for a Midwesterner? I contend that the guy that walked into a head coach's office and begged and pleaded 10 years ago to be a graduate assistant, the guy that was a graduate assistant in Tuscaloosa, Alabama 5 years ago, that guy's probably living his damn dream right now. Dan Lanning's the happiest man on earth, probably feels like the luckiest dude on the planet. Granted, he worked his butt off to get where he is, right? He worked his butt off to get where he is, but there's a lot of luck here. There is. 10 years ago, you're begging for a job. 5 years ago, you're still a graduate assistant, not a full-time coach. Here we are, 2021. You just had your opening press conference at the University of Oregon. Guys, in my opinion, Oregon is a top 5 coaching job right now, present day. Okay, let's go top 10 because I know we can argue, we can bicker, we can discuss. It's a top 10 program in Power 5 football because of the resources, the location, the proximity to talent, and, the Pac-12. All you got to do is win the Pac-12 to get into the college football playoff. I would say it's the easiest of the Power 5 conferences to win. Dicko, would you agree? The Pac-12 is the easiest of the Power 5 conferences to win? Yeah, Dicko would agree. Yeah. So, anyways, it was an obvious job for him. You take that job no matter what. I think this year, leading up to the season, we knew, right? You knew Dan Lanning was going to get calls about potentially leaving Georgia. He did this offseason. He had to turn down the D.C. job at Texas. This spring, he had to turn down the head coaching job at Kansas. He was a favorite for one of those. He was one of the favorites for that job, right? So he turns down these other jobs, and I'm sitting there this offseason thinking, maybe he's got to turn down a Toledo job, right? Or if he wants to be a head coach, maybe that's the route. Maybe he's, a non-head coach, prior head coaching experience. That guy's probably going to have to go to the mid-major level, prove his way up, right? Just like Muschamp did, just like just like some of these other guys have had to do, right? You go coach at a small school, you go coach at Troy, you go coach at UAB, you go coach at Toledo, you figure it out, you prove you can win, then one of the Power 5 jobs hires you. Not this way, not this route. This normally doesn't happen unless you're Kirby Smart or Brett Venables or Dan Lanning. So hats off to him. Again, I think it's a perfect marriage between two guys that absolutely need one another, or two parties rather that absolutely need one another. And again, I don't think if you sat here and told yourself in August that Dan Lanning would be headed to Oregon or any Power 5, like major Power 5 head coaching job, I would have been shocked. I would have pushed back on it and told you that people were going to require some type of experience. Hell, at the fry cook down at McDonald's, well, maybe not in today's climate, working climate, but you got to have work experience everywhere, it feels like. You're not qualified because you don't have work experience. Well, how am I supposed to get work experience if you don't hire me? I mean, that's been everyone's plight for a long, long time. In college football coaching, not so much anymore. They just going to take you if you're available. Dan Lanning's certainly available. So I don't know if he's going to be immediately successful out there, but that roster is stacked, man. That is, I told Max Torres, our beat reporter out there at Oregon for SI, I told him, you guys are a turnkey operation right now for at least 2 or 3 years. That roster's got good enough talent on it because of the way Cristobal recruited. They're going to be a turnkey operation. Show up, win 10, 11 games if you're a decent football coach out there at Oregon because of the way Crystal Ball recruited. If you can maintain and keep those guys on the roster, which I don't think he's going to have a major issue doing. This is a buy-in guy. This is a guy that gets guys to play hard for him, and most of his players, from everything and all accounts, they love him. So those kind of guys get guys to play for him really, really hard, really, really early. Appreciate you guys, man. It's a great show. I'm excited, as always, to be doing NBR, and we got more topics coming up, like this one right here. I think early National Signing Day needs to be tweaked or just moved entirely. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. You know why? Because early National Signing Day is December 15th now, and that means all the coaching decisions have to be made and all the coaching changes have to be done for most schools, most parties involved, prior to early National Signing Day. So you got guys in the midst of a national title run taking interviews and go and play. And it's not their fault. They're not bad people. They're not thinking about, well, they are, prioritizing self-worth and self-goals over team and all that. So there's that. But what are they going to do? What are they supposed to do? Okay, Brian Kelly has to sign at LSU and take that job December 7th because early National Signing Day is December 15th. He's got to at least figure out a way to close early National Signing Day because here's the deal. Even this year, even though kids weren't allowed on campus for 18 months almost, a year and a half, they only had 6 months to actually be recruited, to actually go see these people. The dead period in terms of coaches going in and sitting in homes just came back. And still, 90 to 95% of the most elite of elite prospects will be gone, off the board, signed, sealed, delivered in less than 48 hours. All of them. When the early National Signing Day period came around originally, it was a great idea. Let's get these guys on campus as early as possible. Hell, let's even get them on here for bowl practices if we can, right? Let's do all of it. Let's get them all here. Let's figure out how we can do it. It's a great idea until it starts messing with the rest of the college football calendar like it does now. So let me ask you this. What would be the difference, okay? What would be the difference if we moved early National Signing Day to January 8th, January 11th, the day after the national title? What if we did that, okay? And hear me out. You lose a month worth of early enrollment. But the whole reason you want them early enrolled anyways is so you can get them in there for spring practice. They're still going to be there, right? And now you don't have to worry about your entire coaching staff potentially changing in the midst of a national title run like Georgia's having to do right now. Now, look, everybody has to deal with the same level of distractions. But odds are the more successful programs, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, these teams that are perennially in these situations, not only are they having to recruit and develop game plans on the way up to a national title run, but your staff's getting picked apart. You know it. You know they're going through interview processes everywhere. There's just a million distractions that could be changed, and the timeline could be alleviated just a little bit if you just push it, man. Just let it hang out in January. That's fine. It ain't going to be – it's not that much of a big of a difference to have guys on campus 18, 19, 20 days earlier than what I'm suggesting, in my opinion. So I think it will relieve some pressure on some of these coaches. And I know you guys don't want to hear that, but listen to I tracked this today. Listen to this schedule that Dan Lanning's looking at right now. Check this out, okay? December 4th, they played Alabama in the SEC championship game, right? We know that. December 4th through the 11th, I would just presume he probably spent most of that time either interviewing with Oregon, thinking about interviewing with Oregon, or talking to Oregon. You don't just go get married without dating. So I would assume Dan Lanning was doing some dating last week, okay? The lead up to the decision of him ultimately leaving, I would imagine they was doing some dating, right? So the 4th through the 11th, I would assume he's out there messing around doing that. December 11th, he's named the daggum head coach at Oregon. December 12th, he flies to Eugene to do his press conference. And December 13th, he has said press conference. December 15th is early National Signing Day. And December 31st, he's supposed to play a college football playoff game, or coach in a college football playoff game, rather, against Michigan. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess right now in terms of the college football schedule and the college football landscape during this time of the year. So we'll see. I don't know if they're going to alleviate it. I know these coaches are more and more adamant nowadays about getting guys on campus as early as humanly possible, to which I understand that. Trust me, I get it. I'm just telling you, it would be a whole hell of a lot easier on everybody involved if you just move early National Signing Day to mid-January. You get there a month earlier. Actually, way earlier than that, because if you sign in February, you can't get on campus until July. And I understand that early National Signing Day is in December 15th to help Clearinghouse and NCAA and all that good stuff so you can be enrolled before campus starts or before school starts in January. I'm here to tell you, football players that are in playoff contention ain't going to class early January. They're not. So what's it matter? Show up late, miss syllabus week. Don't mess up the college football calendar by trying to condense these things in mid-December. It's a nightmare right now because of this. All this stuff. I appreciate it, though, because there is some downtime right now. As you can see by the viewership of this video, there's some downtime in the fan base because you guys are taking a breather. I get it. I needed a breather. I took a breather this weekend, too, because I ain't been off in a fat minute. And you ain't been off from stress as a fan in a fat minute, too. And now, guess what? You get to stress about whether or not Kirby Smart's going to flip Travis Hunter. You get to worry about that for the next 36 hours. If you're one of these people, that follows recruiting like most Georgia fans do, now you get to stress about early National Signing Day in the middle of December after just having watched and stressed over the SEC championship game, and we ain't even gotten to the playoff. And you guys your heart's about to explode. I'm ready to watch some tape. You guys ready to watch some tape? Dicko, you ready to watch some tape? This will be fun. I'm glad to do this. This is going to be awesome. All right, we'll be right back. We got like 2 seconds worth of changes, and then we'll holler at you guys. We'll be right back. For the flag, pretty dope. Appreciate your angry girlfriend guy over there in the Discord. This is my Christmas present from the fam. Your Christmas present from me is another hard-working year and some great content. So appreciate you for being here. We all good? Everything sounding good? Everything good? All right, let's shut up. Let's grind this here tape. Now, we are going to watch the first half of this football game, or most of it, and we're just going to talk through it. Now, I don't have notes. I didn't come in here predetermined anything. We're going to watch it, okay? Issues? You got it? Man, I'm glad we brought our producer in tonight. That guy does some work. Okay, here we go. So they open the game, and they're going to go crack toss, rather, okay? Going to pin both these guys, get Darnell Washington out on a corner, and then throw the ball out into the flat. This is an extended handoff. You guys have heard me talk about this before. That's all this is. This is a long handoff in this offense. Every team should run these in college football. I'm telling you that right now. Every single team should run these. Honestly, I remember watching this a little bit this morning. I think Darnell Washington, if he doesn't turn around, okay, look, if this corner wants to undercut you, Bubba, if he wants to jump inside, that's fine. Let him do that. The play is designed to run this way anyways. If he wants to undercut you, let him do that. Continue up the field, okay? Don't ever, as a blocker, ever turn around. You can't do anything good. All you're going to do is block people in the back or get in the way and fail to block the right guy who is right here. Just keep running, baby. He's got him beat by leverage. If he wants to duck inside and be a little sissy boy, let him do it. He's a freshman in the SEC. He ain't figured out how to attack 6'8" tight ends. I wouldn't either, okay? Go, go, go. Run, run, run. Keep your eyes up. Find the next body that crosses your face and block him, because if you do, if you get to 9, might be a crib shot for number 4 to start the football game. They get the late hit on the sidelines. Another free 15. Justin Schaefer downfield talking some mad junk. I love to see it. We got the long cut over here on Huddle tonight, so you can blame the guy that cut the tape. It ain't my fault. We're going to blame it on him. Speaking of cut, they're cutting on the front line. Look at Darnell. God, he moves good for a 6'8" dude. Unzip, dude. Either lock him up or keep your eyes downfield. Do not ever do this. First of all, this is now an illegal block in college football. You cannot block towards the line of scrimmage. This is useless. Move. Speaking of move, we're going to go to the next one because I've coached that enough. 0. God, he looks good though, man. He looks really, really good running in space. Staying in 13 personnel here, going right to the truck sweep the other side. This is a great play from Christian Harris. Watch this right here. This is getting on your high horse as a linebacker, folks. That is running the alley. Watch this from the tight, man. This is great linebacker play. All you're getting is wide zone from the guys up front. Everybody on an angle. Get outside, get to the upfield shoulder or whoever you can, and as a unit, work upfield. As a unit, work upfield. And make sure, by all accounts, you find 8 in the trash somewhere. Find the backside inside linebacker somewhere in the trash. Move these guys enough to where he gets caught in the weeds and is not allowed to do what he's about to do, which is run this alley like a damn banshee and smack 4 right there. James Cook's got no clue it's coming. How could you? 8 shows up out of nowhere. What a great play from Christian Harris. Boom. Great play. All right, so now you got 2nd and 9, right? You're behind the sticks just a little bit, off scheduled, off kilter, still playing fast out of 13 personnel, and they go to empty. They go to empty, and they try to sneak one in right here. I remember it live. That's all they do, okay? They're trying to hit him right here in this zone. I believe they get blitzed, though. Let me double check if my memory's that good. I think this is the ball Stetson forced into the window right around the 35-yard line to George Pickens. Yep. Ball's forced a little bit. Forced a little bit, but that's okay. Of all people, right, I would almost tell my quarterback, hey, just figure out a way early in the football game, especially when number 1 is healthy, just throw him the ball. I ain't saying you got to get him the ball. Just let everybody in the stadium, particularly number 1, know that you're trying to get him the ball, and that'll help alleviate some pressure moving forward. Okay? Just alleviate some pressure moving forward. Especially, I guarantee you, all week, they dialed it up. They said, George, we're going to get you in there. We're going to run you on a bang 8, skinny post against leverage, against the defensive end. Just outrun him a little bit, bend it back inside. We're going to try to hit you out of empty. Okay? They worked on it all week. He was the only read, I promise you. He was the guaranteed throw him the ball no matter what type of play right there. Okay? No need to watch it from the tight for me. Guys, they pass protected really well to start this football game. A lot of it had to do with 31 dropping, though. 31 dropped a ton in this football game. I think that was on purpose in terms of Georgia's alignment and assignment. You get in certain situations, defensively or offensively, formations, situations, motions, things like that, you can probably flex the jack out. Now, they go 3rd down. I haven't seen double safety fire or safety plug with a Mike blitz all year from Alabama. This is a really well-developed blitz, a really well-called blitz and timed blitz, and it hits. Good Lord. But hey, here's just something for young quarterbacks. Now, it's easy to sit here in the All-22 and tell you this, but I guarantee when we watch it from the tight, these dudes are going to look like they're standing in a line at the daggum Starbucks ready to light your butt up. So something's probably coming. You probably need to protect that area of the offensive line, get things slid in there, something. Hold the back end, do something. They bring in pressure. 3rd and 10, you see 3 guys stacked in a line like this right here. They are doing something, okay? They are doing something. Look at all this. That's a lot of bodies standing right there. This in particular is sketchy. That is sketchy. You got to be alert, man. Then they end up dropping 6 right here, bringing these 5. Okay, bringing these 5. It's not a blitz, it's a pressure. Okay, it's not a blitz, it's a pressure. We ought to be able to block 5 as an offense every time. We ought to be able to block 5. And on comes the punt unit. On to the next possession. These jokers traded possessions left and right to start this football game. I haven't seen the RPO off the pin and pull all year. That's for sure. That's all they're running, okay? They are running pin. I think they actually pull Schaefer back here, okay? They are running pin and pull with the RPO read off the back, okay? With the RPO read off the back. But here's what, watch this guy. This is what blows it up. I talked last week about Alabama flooding the mesh point, right? Same thing right here. Or Georgia, rather, flooding Alabama's mesh point. Same thing right here from Alabama. They are flooding the mesh point. Look at 10. He's rapping, okay? So 31, Will Anderson's given the pull read. This is the correct read from Stetson Bennett. The only problem was 10 is filling, okay? 10 is filling with purposes of tackling the quarterback off the keep. So you know what that tells me? Bama spent time and resources in the form of manpower to dedicate to stopping 10, or 13 rather, okay? So they know this guy can run, and to be honest with you, they're the only football team I've seen this year actually key him, fire him on read options instead of just hang him out, right? You got to hold. You got to hold in case he keeps it out the back. No. Alabama said to hell with that. We're not going to hold. We're going to fire. We're going to meet him if he keeps right here at -1 instead of meeting him at +4 or worse, pursuing him in a banana peel style and fashion on the way out, right? So it's the proper key, just a better defensive call and a read from 10. Watch 10 right here. It's a great read from To'o. Immediately flashes out for the Q. See what we got here. Who's that in the slot? Is that Kyrus Jackson in the slot? Play action, holding the ball forever, and I know what they're trying to do. They're dovering right now. Okay, they know they're getting some type of zone. They're trying to hit this one. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to hit that one. They're running drags, digs, crosses, and they're trying to hit Brock Bowers on the crossover and clear out route, matched up with Harris, Christian Harris, in man-to-man coverage running that way, okay? His eyes are locked here. They're giving a hard run fake with power pass from the backside guard. Watch this. Watch the action at the mesh. As they snap the ball, okay? Boom. Okay, they pull the backside guard, block down, okay? They're giving a lot of run keys right now. Low hats, pulling guards, and the run fake. It's all designed to hope 8 keeps his eyes in the backfield for a hair too long. But he plays at the University of Alabama. He's coached by Nick Saban, and he don't blow assignments too often because he's really good. So there you go. That is a shot not capitalized on by Georgia, okay? That is Bama beating you on your shot play right there. What's up? Popping? About a minute. I heard that audio was popping. Are we in the open? Let's settle here.
You're still in the...
We're still in this one? Yeah, we got 3 cameras up in here now, baby. We fancy. Oh, you fancy, huh? Here we go. Let's take a look at it from the tight. Is the audio clear now? Let's figure that out first. They're trying to hit Bowers on the shot here, and obviously it gets shut down. Said it's only been happening for a minute. Oh, you're listening to it now? Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2, mic check. All right, still popping?
We're going to go back. Be right back.
We'll be right back.
Can you give me the mouse?
Yeah. All right, let's try this again. You know, every once in a while you gotta have backup mics. I heard some guys say it's fine, some guys say it's not fine. Either way, we called an audible. We're back. We're hot. We're ready to talk. All right, we good? As long as you're getting audio bars. I see audio bars coming in here. Let me know if it's still cracking, guys. Speaking of crack-a-lacking, shout out Todd Monken. Shout out Todd Monken. Getting in 22 personnel. Stayed in it a lot, honestly. 21 personnel. One back, or two backs, one tight end. Okay? Gets in 21 personnel in short yardage. What? Still cracking. Huh. I know what it is. Let's try one more thing. It very well could be. All right, at this point, if it's not working, we're just going to deal with the popping. I hope you guys are okay. If it's really, really bad, let Dicko know. We'll just call it quits, figure out what's going on with the board, or go back to an NBR format and answer questions. We'll figure something out, okay? But you're going to get your content nonetheless. All right, 3rd and 1, short yardage situation here. Monken's in his bag. Calls James Cook here on the speed reverse, okay? And free releases Brock Bowers. It's a tremendous play call here, and I see a lot of NFL coordinators and college coordinators doing this now, particularly on short yardage situations. Particularly on short yardage situations. I think it was the extension cord, Dicko, to be 100% honest with you.
It's still doing it, but whatever. They're saying they don't notice it, so.
All right.
Whatever.
There you see all the space right there, one-on-one with Harris, or the safety rather, and James Cook does his thing. You guys seem to be okay with it. If you're okay with it, we're okay with it. If you're okay with it, we're okay with it. Now, golly, talking about stressing a defense. 4x1 at the top, ball on the left hash, and you just run. You just run. I think there was actually a missed assignment on the last play that I missed. I think Justin Schaefer blew an assignment. Watch 54. Everybody's supposed to be going this way. We are selling outside zone this way to pull defenders this way, okay? He is arc releasing for that guy to create this massive alleyway right here in C gap, okay? Instead, Justin Schaefer blows the assignment, goes the wrong way. Offensive linemen are notorious for this. We're big, we're sweaty, we don't think real good in high pressurized situations all the time, and sometimes we forget lefts to our left and rights to our right, okay? Sometimes we blow assignments on 3rd and 1. Not good. Luckily for Georgia, it didn't hurt them. All right, it's the run play. We're going to get to the tight of this because I like what Warren Erickson did right here. This is a really, really tough block, and this is a guy that I don't give a lot of credit to and pretty much crap on all the time. So when he does something good, I'm going to let you know. This is really, really hard. Go cut off an inside 2-eye, a guy that's got you beat with leverage, and we're running the ball this way. So as you're moving, he's damn sure going to be moving and trying to fight across your face. And all you can do is give tremendous, tremendous effort and try to continuously run your feet and move him across the ball carrier. And that's exactly what happens here for 50. This is a really, really good rep. Watch this. I screwed it up. That's the 3rd down play. Okay. I don't know what the heck happened there. I just backed up 5 minutes. It is dog water. Dog water.
Dog water cut.
The film cut up? Yeah, the film cut up's rough.
Fire the GA.
Fire the GA. Aren't you the GA in this situation?
What?
What? All right. Let's watch Erickson. Sorry. My guy right here. Let's watch 50. All you got to do is give tremendous amounts of effort and make sure whatever happens, that guy doesn't cross your face. He's trying, man. He's really, really trying, but just stay in front of him. Hat on a hat. Let your running back do what he's got to do. Great job here by 54, though, man. This is what I love about Justin Schaefer. If Justin Schaefer played like this 24/7, he'd be a first-round pick. He would. If he played like this 24/7, he'd be a first-round draft pick. But he don't. There's ups and downs in 54's game, man. There is ups and downs in 54's game. I'm telling you, to stalemate a 3-tech like this by yourself, okay, that's tough. That's tough to do. I also like how this formation, right, they got 4 or 3 wide receivers out here, okay, and there's the tight end, right? So there's nothing on this half of the field. What does that do? It automatically condenses. That's a cornerback, guys. That's a freshman corner. It condenses him basically to playing the front side inside linebacker. So what does Georgia do? Georgia calls To'o the mic, and they work backside and ask this corner and force this corner to be the force player, to come downhill and smack, right? To come downhill and thump. It's not something he probably wants to do. Just basic alignment helps out everything, man. It changes everything. We got to hurry up because we got to get to the bad parts. We got to hurry up because we got to get to the bad parts. The dog water, as my man would say. Ooh, Cedric Van Pran Granger. Watch 60. I mean, this dude's a pinball in here, man. He's violent. He's so violent. And he's coming into his own, man. He's figuring out what life as a college football player looks like. He realizes now that when I push on folks, when I smack folks, they move. It still happens. These guys are still impacted by the way in which I play the game of football. My physicality is still an issue for them. And what else is an issue for Alabama? Something I pointed out all week last week on film. If you cross the tight ends, you will take the backers. You will. In a rematch, I would line up in 12 personnel. I would crisscross tight ends all daggum day. Because look what it does. Look what it does, man. He is way over there. Both linebackers are in C gap, and the ball's hitting an A. I would cross backs and tights all day long. No way in hell would I line up and run the ball straight. Nope. We would move, we would shift, we would motion, we would post-snap draw. We would do everything, man. Can't just line up. Can't just line up and hit these dudes. You got to give them different looks all day long, like they're doing right here on these drives. See what I mean? When you play with a traditional tight end, it allows their backers to be right. They're right way more often. They're right way more often. See, I mean, they're both front side too right now. Okay, now we're going to shift the tight, or shift the linebacker. He's going to bump a little bit. Stet's going to do some stuff at the line of scrimmage here, downset hut. They're working front side there. Who's the problem? 50's the problem. Can't get thrown off your block right there, bud. Can't get thrown off your block right there, bud. I know he's a good football player, but you can't get thrown off your block. You good over there?
Yeah, I'm straight.
A lot of bunches to start the football game, too. A lot of bunches. From Monk. It's just an awful throw. It's just an awful throw. All right. You're going to hesitate, hit the arrow. He's got the corner. Okay. He's got a deep clear. That's it. Deep clear. It's levels. We talk about this all the time. It's just levels. That's all they're running. And there's levels to this. Okay. All they run is levels. Trying to get him, okay, to clear out. Now, the reason you do this is because if you look at Bama, they're playing in, out, middle, right? Shallow, secondary, deep, okay? That's how they're attacking. So what do? You attack this portion of the field and these two readers by sending two guys into their void, right? Sending two guys out there, and you're really trying to attack the young corner and see if he'll turn around and chase the wrong guy, which he does, okay? He turns around and chases the one vertical and forgets to come back out to the deep the out route, the deep out, or in this case, the doubt, okay? He fails to get back out to the doubt, and Brock Bowers catches an incredibly, hit your layups there, 13, says Ditko in the back. He is 100% correct on that. Hit your layups. I mean, it gets completed, but I see a lot of this, guys, and here's what happened. Here's what I think happened, at least, okay? When you have, and this is me projecting, when you have a 5'9" quarterback and you got an alley defender at 6 foot standing right in the line of view and the pathway of the football, I see Stetson Bennett putting a lot of air on these balls all the time because he is terrified of that guy getting his hand on the ball that's thrown right there on the line, right? I see him doing this all the time. He did it to Bowers against South Carolina, the interception when he came in, right? Threw that ball high, and that linebacker from South Carolina picked that football off. Same thing. The ball's going directly over Harris right here. That ball is elevated because he's worried about hands. That's what he's worried about.
Bowers rolled up his ankle on that.
Yeah, he looks awful the next 4 plays. Watch this. He looks awful the next 4 plays. They go hurry up because they're worried about a call. And watch 19 over here. Watch him. This dude's tough as nails, Dicko. I'm telling you. He plays the next 4 plays basically just 100% hobbled. Look at him. He's limping. He's out there limping, setting the edge in the run game as a true freshman in the SEC championship game. Come here. Come here, Branch.
Still moving his guy.
Oh, I know. He looks awful in this clip. He looks like an old man. He's down block. He's not really down block. He's collecting here, and they're going to pull Fitzy and Darnell. 6'7", 6'8", totaling, my math's awful. If he's 280 and he's 265, they heavy. 565, isn't it? 535? I'm an idiot. We know this, though. Come on, 50. Come on, 50. Ah! Get there. Still a really, really productive play, though. 70. Go. Go. Don't get stuck. Why are you stuck? Don't, Get past the garbage. 70. Let's go. Get past the garbage. Don't do that. Great job, Bowers. God, that's tough. That's tough, man. Watch the next clip. He's limping around the next clip, too. No, he's not in right now. It's 2 clips from now. He gets completely derailed. A little bit more cross action here. I think this is 50 again. They're running split zone, which means this should be the mic, unless they're working duos. We'll see. I've seen them go backside point this year a lot. They went front side here, so they went out, out, out. 63 gets his guy. 50, 50. What are we doing? What are we doing? Eyes up, baby. Eyes up. What are we doing? Also, it looks to me like they put in, let's watch it from the wide. It looks to me like they put in some type of quarterback option off the back because Darnell's trying to Olay right now. So that's something to pay attention to in the future. If you see Stetson Bennett pulling outside with a lead blocker. They did it against Bama last year with Trey McKitty lead blocking for him. And Auburn last year. Kenny Mack getting some run. I think this is the last possession before the 2-minute drill, believe it or not. So they didn't get a lot of possessions in the first half.
You remember Bama let them score?
Yeah, when Bama let them score. All right, what's going on here? That's a coverage sack all day. It's a coverage sack all day. 54. Don't quit on the twist, Justin. Don't just quit on the twist, man. We'll watch it from the tight. I'll show you. But nobody's open. What are they running? 12 personnel. Looks like a bunch of spots. Spots and mesh. It's just mesh. It's mesh down here in the middle with Burton and Fitz with a spot route from Bowers, an out from him in the backfield. It's a very, very long play. It takes forever to develop. And it ends up being a coverage sack. Let's watch Sawyer and Schaefer. The breakdown's on the left side over here with a basic DN twist. Okay? A basic twist. I'm pretty sure. And what happens is 54 gets knocked off of his track. Watch him. 54 gets knocked off his track. Right there. He gets thrown in. And Dallas Turner does the okie doke on him. It's actually just a really good play by 15. A really good play by 15. Another young star. You guys are going to be really good. All right, now ball on the 5. They go 95 yards and score. Don't run a single third down play. This is an incredible drive right here. False start. Justin Schaefer. 9:52. Oh, man. Discord is going to get 42 minutes worth of game tape all to themselves. Patreon, rather. You guys are going to love that. Cut the clips better. Dang it. You're right. GA's fired. GA's 100% fired. All right, so 98 yards, actually. Why is my... Whew. We're stuck in fast mode there for a second. Simple RPO concept here, okay? Get a speed out from McConkey with the RPO on the inside. Great job by Stet, just counting the box. I mean, don't want to give him too much credit for just simple math. You got 2nd and 8 right here inside your own 5. Play action, dart. Okay, here's the deal. You know you're getting covered 3 from Bama in this situation. This will be one of the last plays we break down. Okay? You know you're getting covered 3 from Bama in this situation, right? What that tells you is this corner is going to open up with his hips inward. Okay, watch him. When you press him, as Jermaine Burton presses him vertically, he's going to open in the same direction he's currently in. He's going to begin his drop into his coverage this way with his eyes locked inside. So where is he weak, Ditko? Where would he be weak?
Who would they be?
This side, right?
Yeah, sideline.
This is where you want to attack. So what does Monk do? Monk calls play action, rolls him, and calls the comeback right here. It's a really good route against this concept. You know what you're going to get. That's one thing you got to say about Bama and Georgia, for that matter, defensively, for the most part. They line up, and they kind of play everything in standard sets, right? If you get into doubles, they play it one way. If you get into bunch, they play it one way. If you get into 12 personnel, 2 tights, they play it a certain way, right? You know what you're going to get. You can dictate coverage. Therefore, you know where you need to attack. It's hard to do that consistently for 4 quarters, though. That's the problem. Back to the truck sweep option in the boundary. And guess what, guys? Bowers, to me, he looked hurt for a couple of series and then continued to do crazy Napa Valley shit. Pardon my language. But, yeah, he's getting knocked down out in the flat right now, just in a bad body positioning. Just in a bad body positioning. AD, come on now. Come on, AD Mitchell. Oh, I love these cuts. Let's see who's a crazy person. He's a crazy person. He's insane. I don't know who that is, but whoever it is. Is that Kirby? I think that's Kirby.
No, Kirby's next to the ref. That's one of the assistant strength coaches.
He's a psycho. He wakes up and dry scoops pre for breakfast. Xavier Truss, about that action. I would want him in a bar fight. I'm sure he's been involved in a few. He is definitely about that life. I mean, he walked through 3 rows of people. He is about that life. Who else stands out? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This dude, Bill Norton, pounds Brewdogs. This dude pounds Brewdogs. Check him. Watch this right here. This is brilliant. Give me a party boy towel wave. Let's go, Nort. You think he's a Busch Light drinker? I bet he's a Busch Light drinker. He's definitely a Busch Light drinker. No, dude, that guy drinks camo Busch Light beers, man. That guy drinks camo Busch Light beers with the orange top. You know what I mean? All right, that's enough of that. Yeah, give me the open. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I guess we're not buying a new soundboard. I'm tell you that right now. We're not buying a new soundboard. We've already gone through 2 of them. It's probably a user error. We'll fix it. We'll get it figured out. I'll go back and listen to it. Hope you guys enjoyed this new format. We are going to continue recording for Patreon. We'll do a couple of more possessions. I want to cover the interceptions and things like that. We'll do that over on Patreon, patreon.com/Brooks Austin. Before you guys leave tonight, please support the program with a thumbs up. We appreciate you guys for doing that. One more shout out to the Angry Girlfriend guy, Turner, for the dope flag that he added to the mixture. We got random potatoes and flags now with my face on them. So that's kind of cool. Appreciate you guys. It's all about y'all and the growth of the family here on this network and over on Patreon. For Brooks Austin, a.k.a. Jameis Not So Thinston, for Ditko, for the Film Guy family, for patreon.com/Brooks Austin, for Dogs Daily over on SI.com. I'll see you next time.